Lord, I was saying basically that a lot of, as far as women, we get, I feel like we lose our identities.
Yes,
that's it. Yeah, we
yes.
lose our identities into whatever this title or new role that you take on. That you lose your identity. That like you become that title or that role only.
So and that's where a lot of people lose themselves. So that title and that identity, becoming that role only, is very detrimental, because and that's a lot of the same narrative that I hear from a lot of women in general, not just black women. That's women across the board. As far as that narrative, losing yourself in your family because you're taking care of your family so much, because you're taking care of your children, all of those things that we just talked about previously. You're not focusing on yourself anymore, so you're not a priority. And so since you're not a priority, it's very easy to deflect and not take care of yourself.
Right.
So losing your identity, another part, I kind of call that the Julia Roberts syndrome.
Oh.
Have you ever watched the movie Runaway Bride?
Yes.
Okay. And the reason why Julia Roberts in that movie, every time she would get to the altar or get halfway down, she would turn around and run away. And that was because she really didn't know herself. In the end, you saw of the movie, you saw her cooking different eggs, right? Because whatever mate or whoever mate she was with, whatever style eggs they liked, she liked, right? She lost her identity inside that person. And so she didn't really know herself. So how was she able to know and love her other partner? So that's the same thing that we do when we lose ourselves in our partner, in our lives, in our children, and everything else. You have to step back. And a lot of times I'll ask clients, what kind of eggs do you like? And they're like, what do you mean? And I go into this whole spiel on Julia Roberts, and they're like, I didn't realize.
Right, or I didn't think about it. Yeah, I
right?
never thought about it that way.
Right. What kind of eggs do I like? What kind of self-care? What do I actually like to do? What is it that I used to do that I don't do anymore?
Right.
Right? I had a friend who was married, and she even stated, she said that she used to read a lot, and her partner really doesn't like to read a lot. And so she said, okay, I had to take time out for myself in order for us to, it's for me to just breathe for a second and let me just read this book.
Right.
Right? If it's just reading, if it's anything. But there are a lot of simple ways for you to take care of yourself.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I think also another thing that, so I'm going to say in the age of today's society, women are becoming more aware of self-care. But I don't think people realize self-care is self-love also. It can be.
It is.
And I know there's some people who are trying to say, no, that's not true. But my thing is, sometimes you have to stop and realize that you got to love yourself first to love others. That old adage of, if your cup is empty, how can you pour it to somebody else? To me, that's recognizing and loving me. So that's self-love.
Yes.
If I'm taking care of me, and we still, even when you're aware of it, you still can lack in it. But in this age of us becoming, our generations and older generations starting to say it's okay to stop and take care of me and to love me first. That doesn't mean I love my partner, my kids, my family, my career, my business, my brand, whatever, any less. But I gotta love and take care of me, because otherwise, if I'm not okay, how can everything else be okay, right?
Yes, exactly.
So now there's a lot of women that are going out and doing, like, let's say, for example, the massages, the yoni steams, yoga, meditating, exercising, different things that they feel is their me time, my self-care time, pedicures, get my nails done, get my hair done. Why is it that there are some people who are trying to debunk and say, no, that's not self-care?
Self-care and self-love is defined differently by different folks. So I think a lot of people say that's not self-care because for some people that's not a priority. and for others it is. Within every group, regardless if it's just women, black women, white women, Hispanic women, we all get our hair done differently.
Yes.
Right? And I know some women that love to get their nails done every couple of weeks. I know some women who could care less. It's not really a big priority to them. So I think we have a problem as women looking at ourselves and each other and judging ourselves and each other, saying, hey, that's not really taking care of yourself. But that woman, that might have been the only thing that person could have done for themselves.
I think that's the part that what you just touched on. I think that a lot of people think, oh, that's just stuff you should do on a regular anyway. And it's like, but what if financially they're not able to? What if they don't really ever have the time to do it on a regular? So when they do it, it's a special moment. And I guess my thing is, why are people trying to take away or define what someone considers their self-worth, their self-love, or their self-care? I mean, so for me, joining my sorority was a big, big thing. Shout out to Phi Omega Delta Sorority Incorporated, because my sorors were very, very big on having self-care Sundays. And I've always been big about women learning about self-love. So that's where the concept of this show came from, because I realized sometimes you have to stop and take that moment to give yourself a facial. Or take that 5 minutes to say, let me deep condition my hair. Or here, let me make this little tub of water with some Epsom salt and some Listerine and soak my feet.
Yes.
And a lot of people, I think, they try to put a dollar amount on it. It doesn't necessarily have to be a dollar amount. So a big thing that I've been preaching to people is, I don't care when I hear women saying they're stressed out, they don't have time for themselves. I tell them, take $25 and go to Dollar Tree. And I need you to go buy these items. I need you to get 2 of those little dishpan tubs, a thing of mouthwash, a thing of some Epsom salt, some smell good soap. I need you to get a facial brush, some mask, get a couple little towels, get you, I don't care what kind of little snack it is, get you a thing of water.
A pamper kit.
A pamper kit.
That's
and that pamper kit's going to last you at least 5 weeks. For that $25. And every Sunday, every Tuesday, whatever day you pick out the week, soak your feet and give yourself a quick facial. One of my favorite things to do is the day that I give myself a facial, I do my Yanni steam at home, and I soak my feet. That for me is me stopping out of my crazy workaholic schedule and saying, I'm going to take this hour for just myself. Don't talk to me. I'm not answering my phone. You might get a text, but that is it. I'm not working during that 1 hour out of the whole week.
And not feeling guilty while doing it.
That part.
Yes.
Because women, I feel, fall to the wayside because we fill so many roles and feel so obligated, which that's a whole nother conversation. We feel so obligated to be something for everybody and be on everybody else's time and always fix something, and to always drop whatever we want to do or need to do for ourselves to go do for everybody else.
Exactly. That's exactly what we do. You're exactly right.
So how can women get away from that feeling?
It's a couple of different things. You have to prioritize yourself. Okay? So I was one of those women that didn't do anything for myself outside of my children, my husband, my family, paying bills. That was it. It was like I was a machine, a nice robot. And every now and then I would crash and have to take care of myself for a little bit and then jump right back up. And that's pretty much what we do, right?
Yeah.
So to keep from crashing and feeling guilty. So you have to prioritize yourself. You have to treat yourself like a bill, right?
Okay.
So just like you would pay your electric bill, your water bill, your cable bill to keep that cut on every single month, you have to pay yourself to keep that battery rejuvenated and to keep on every single month. It's the exact same thing. So For me, mine used to be getting my hair done every 2 weeks, and it still kind of is, but it's getting my hair done every 2 weeks. That used to be the only thing that I would do. And some women would say, oh, I don't want to stay in the salon for 3 and 4 hours, and I will be the one that says take 4 or 5. Literally, I had no issue. I would bring my computer, my laptop, which I still do. I would sit back, chill out, take very minimum to no phone calls from anybody, and that was my time every 2 weeks. Other than that, that was it.
Because the vibe, the atmosphere, it automatically you're even if you didn't engage in conversation in a beauty shop, and I think that's the magic of beauty shops and barbershops.
Yes,
the atmosphere is so relaxing and so different. You feel good. You walk out feeling good. You walk out feeling better. You walk out looking good. I think that triggers. I don't know. She's gonna give us some damn statistics, y'all. Excuse the language. She's about to give me a statistic, and I see it all in her face, y'all. Because I just said something. Her whole face was like, "There's a statistic for that." That it's got to release some kind of chemical in your brain.
Yeah.
That feel good.
Yeah.
Cue Dr. Feel Good. I'm just playing.
No, but there are different ways that we can take care of ourselves. So prioritizing ourselves, treating ourselves like we are a bill. Right?
Okay.
So we're putting ourselves not necessarily first, because women
never
do
will
not like to say that,
and we will not,
and we will never admit it. We just will not. We're not even going to put it that way. But even if you go to like the mental health foundations and stuff like that, they have different simple ways to practice self-love. So putting yourself first is a really good one. A lot of times people say I'm too blessed to be stressed, but it's really the other way around. You're too stressed to be blessed. So you're not putting yourself first, right?
Right.
So that's one thing. Another thing would be to catch more Z's. Get some sleep. Women do not sleep. We do not. After we come home from working, especially if you're working, and you're dealing with your children, you're getting ready for the next day, blase, whatever you want to insert there. A lot of times our wind down is maybe 10-15 minutes for ourselves until we're jumping into bed. Is that correct? Is that about, because you,
maybe, possibly.
Maybe even not even 10-15 minutes? You get less than that?
Probably.
Okay. Yeah.
All I know is I got teased today. Somebody I can't remember who said, they was like, somebody was on your post the other day was like, when did you sleep?
Yes.
And I was like, I don't. But I mean, it might have sounded flippant, but I wasn't being mean, but I was just like, I don't. Like, I don't. And I don't think people really realize or know, like, exactly what all I do.
They just think real.
Like, I'm serious. Like, I didn't get out of here, what was that, Tuesday night till like 1 a.m. But I'm up 4 or 5 o'clock preparing everything for the morning show and kids getting ready for school. Like, it's real. Yeah.
Yes. And so even with me, I have twins. I have 3-year-old twin girls at home, right?
Child, you blessed soul.
So even if you include my pregnancy, I haven't been to bed before 2 a.m. in about 3.5, almost 4 years, right? If you include that. So that is a norm for me, right?
Right.
And getting up every single morning, making sure that my older children are getting off for school and they're okay, and then crashing back down, right? So I might get 3 or 4 hours of sleep, but then I have to say, okay, stop. You have to get sleep at some other point in time in this day. So if it is not 2 hours here, 3 hours there, you have to prioritize.
Adult naps are the best.
Adult naps are wonderful.
I don't know why we was tripping as kids.
Right.
Naps are the stuff.
Yes.
I hate cuss, but y'all know what I meant.
Right. So prioritizing, so that's really important. Getting more sleep. You're not going to be any good after a while if you do not get any sleep. So I feel like I'm just talking to you.
I know.
And not everyone.
Because you know what happened on my birthday, so I know you. I already know. Okay, so for those who don't know, yes, I know I didn't make it out my actual birthday, and no, it wasn't because I was intoxicated. It was because I was exhausted.
Yes.
I literally did what I was supposed to do Friday night,